Hey everybody, it's Jack and Dan, and today we're doing an update on the betta tank.
Yeah, we got some cool news, right, Lace? Lacey's here too with us. So long story short, this tank is over a year old.
Yeah.
Made it about a year ago. We got 3 female bettas. We made a princess tank, right, Lacey? And you helped us because you're a princess too, right? So we did a 1-year follow-up on it a couple months back, right?
Yeah.
And everything was doing great. We had red, white, and blue, 3 of the bettas. They're red, white, and blue, and you named them red, white, and blue, right?
Yeah.
It's patriotic and everything.
Yeah.
And then we put the Salvini in here because the blue polar were eating it.
Yeah.
So we put that in here, and everything was cool there, and everything was going fine. And then we all had to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when things happen. So I was traveling for work. I was in Cincinnati for a few days. You went to Niagara Falls with your mother for a few days. Mm-hmm. So you were in Canada, and Pamela was visiting a friend in Miami. And you were with your other side of the family, right? So here, I'll put you down. You're kind of uncomfortable looking now. So none of us were here for about 3 days. Now, we fed everybody good before we leave, and if we're only going to be gone like 3 days, we don't think much of it. You know what I mean? We put them a bunch of food in, zucchini
Usually
and stuff.
they're fine, yeah.
Yeah, and I fed them right before I left, and then I was gone like 2 nights, came back, fed them, in the afternoon, whatever. So at the end of the day, I got home, everybody was fine, and I looked in this tank, and I noticed all the big rabbit snails were all like clustered together.
Yeah. And
I'm like, what are they eating? Maybe there's a pellet I left. And I'm like, that can't be 3 days ago. So I look closer, and it's blue. The one female beta that was blue, she was almost gone. So I go, wow, that's weird. Everything was fine when I left. Everything was cool. Everything was copacetic. But I said, well, whatever. I checked the other 2 out. They seemed fine. But I did notice a little weird behavior in Red. Now, the other thing we noticed is ever since we shot that last video, Red seems like she's gotten bigger.
Yeah, bigger, and her fins have expanded.
Like tremendously, just in like a month. Because you're about 1.5 years old now. You buy these beta.
Just bigger, but just bigger formations. Like her head was bigger and her back was bigger.
Because she was tiny.
Like bigger fins.
And we bought all 3 of these ladies. They were all tiny. They all had very tiny fins. They were all sold as female betas, and they were all in other tanks where they were in, mixed with other fish, right? Yeah. Community tanks. So anyway, what happened is that we had thought for a little bit of while that she could possibly be a male. So we think that with spring and everything here, and the summer equinox literally was a week away, and our fish always act weird when that happens, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's does, like everybody's animals do and stuff. So we think she probably was pretty aggressive with Blue, and Blue unfortunately died from that. And then White, however, is a lot bigger than Red, right?
Yeah.
So she wasn't going to put up with it. But we did notice a lot more chasing, and then we decided we're probably going to take Red out, and that he was a male. And there's ways that you could tell male and female beta, but honestly, none of them are really that conclusive. Well, then something very conclusive happened, right? Mm-hmm. The bubble nest. So Red started blowing a bubble nest, and it was huge. I mean, it took up a third of the tank, quarter of the tank here. You can see it right here.
Yeah.
And then we said, well, the only time a female ever participates in blowing a bubble nest is if a male, initiates it.
Yeah.
And White had nothing to do with it. White was doing her own thing, and it's pretty obvious that she's a female. So we kind of decided that Red was a male and Blue was a female, and they were blowing a nest. And I said, well, maybe we'll let them in there for a while because they didn't seem to be... She just wants to lick her hands. I'll let you down and lick your hands. So then we decided, you know what? We'll let them do their thing. It's a huge, long tank. Let's let it go for a couple days. And so we came back. Then you had 1 more week of school. And that was actually your last day of school. And we got home from Jack's last day of school. And we're like, yay, let's go hit the pool because summer's here. The pools are open. Let's go hit the pool, celebrate the last day of school and all that. And we walked in and we noticed White and Red breeding. And it was really cool because
That's neat.
I had not seen that in several years. I bred some betta years ago, way before Jack was born when I was younger.
Well, a lot of times I don't really do it around people. A lot of times I like to be secluded when they do it. That's how a lot of fish are.
Yeah, but it was like bright, middle of the day, like boom, boom, boom. And anyway, it was really cool. So I whipped out the camera and did some video. And what we decided, because they bred several times, and then White was like passing out for a while after each time. And then we thought, well, let's take her out. She laid a bunch of eggs. And so we took her out. We put her in the pseudo-moogle tank. Because those guys are about a year old now. They're not really that big. They haven't been breeding or anything. And she was fine in there. She went in there right away and just started hanging out like it was no big deal. And we came back and shot some footage of Red again afterwards. So we're going to put all that footage here. It's about 10 or 12 minutes. Just to kind of show you guys, if you've never seen how they do this, it's actually pretty interesting and pretty cool. And then basically what happened, this is like 2 days later. And it seems that Red is still kind of keeping an eye on all the eggs and everything and continuing a bubble nest going. But this is their first spawn and they're pretty young, so we don't know that they're going to hatch or anything. But let's show you this, and then we'll come back after all that, and we'll show you what's going on here now and what our plans are. Oh, look at the eggs, dude. Well, I guess we were right. Red's a male, and White's a female. So she squeezed the eggs out of her. She's dropping the eggs. Red's taking the eggs and putting them in the bubble nest. She's dropping a lot too, man. She's a big girl. She finally submitted. She finally gave in to her. All this time, we thought they were all females. And Red was a male. So now she's putting the eggs in the nest. You can see them in there. So now we're going to have to take White out. Just came home from picking up Jack from school and saw him doing this. So it looks like White is helping. Getting out of focus here with this glare a little bit. So they're putting them all up there in the bubble nest. Looks like she's helping. So they've been together this whole time, living together for over a year. And all of a sudden, springtime comes. Red blows a nest, and there you go. Oh, she's trying to, yeah. How cool. We just happened to walk in when they were doing this. So let's get a top shot here. So they're putting the eggs in the bubble nest. Look at this bubble nest, like takes up the whole corner. Super awesome. We were going to take her out. We were going to take Red out, Hem out. Thought she was a female. We were going to take him out and then saw him doing this and decided we'll just let him go at it. So we're going to let him go a few more minutes here and then probably take White and put her in one of the tanks in the back. Trying to get more out of her. Oh, there we go. Didn't look like any more came out. That hum that you hear is the pump. You got the door open, you can hear the birds chirping. That hum is the pump of the infinity tank we were working on behind us. Literally just walked in and I saw him doing this and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Jack went to go change. Getting our swim trunks on, gonna go swimming. First day of summer. Trying to document this. Yeah, it looks like there's quite a few eggs up in there. How crazy. We bought 3 female bettas. We actually had 4 total. Early on, the green one died. And then these 3 survived for a whole year. Then springtime came. Oh, there she goes. And Red's fins got longer and started blowing a bubble nest. And White had wanted nothing to do with him for about 2 months. And here we are about a week and a half or so away from the summer equinox. Looks like she's got some red marks on her there, so she's... There we go, trying to get a few more there. Don't look like she has any more, so I'm probably going to take her out. Good thing we just walked in. It's like perfect timing. Isn't that crazy how they roll like that? Oh, there is more. Got some more out of her. Wow. These are just the 2 we saw. They might have had more before we even got here. Look at her. She's laying there like, hey, I'm done. So we're probably going to take White out, put her with the pseudomugals in the pothos tank. That was actually what we were thinking of doing anyway. How super cool. She's kind of just waking up. She kind of like stays out for a minute there. Isn't that crazy? Look at all those eggs coming down. So I don't know if she's just going to eat them or if she's helping to put them in the nest. She was very resistant to her. Anyway, back to my story. Blue ended up dying. And Blue was pretty small. And I'm guessing that probably Red was being a little too aggressive with her. So we didn't really notice it. I was gone. I was traveling for work and I was gone for a few days. Came back. And the rabbit snails were all in a big mountain. And I'm like, oh, what are they eating? And then I realized it was Blue. And that totally stunk. I was very sad about that. But, you know, when you're gone and then the snails eat the fish or something, I mean, you don't know what happened. So then we kind of started putting 2 and 2 together and thinking maybe Red was a male. And we were going to take Red out and leave White in here and add more princesses and have it back to being princess tank. But now at this point, probably going to take White out, put her with the pseudomugals, and leave Red in here since he's going to take care of the babies here. So Jack just said, hey, just film it, man. I got to go change. I'm hot. He was kind of dressed up for his last day of school, so he's throwing on some shorts and whatnot. He goes, I'll watch the video. I can't stand how hot I am. How neat, man. Yeah, it looks like she's helping. So just trying to document this whole thing. Yeah, it looks like she's helping. Well, at this point, it looks like there's quite a bit of eggs. You can kind of see them in there with the bubbles. They're white, so they're hard to see on film, especially the reflection. But I'm hoping she's helping. It looks like she is because she takes some and goes back up, yeah. Well, I'm going to guess they're probably done at this point. That's a lot of eggs. Well, maybe we're going to try one more time. Maybe go one more time because White's pretty tough. And it doesn't seem like they're being too aggressive or anything. She is quite a bit bigger than him. Let's let him try one more time here. There she goes. Nope. No more left. Nope. Super cool that we happened to walk in when this was happening. Well, I think I'm going to take White out. We're going to put her in with the Pseudomoogles. And we'll be back and do some follow-ups on this and see how everything's working out with Red and with these eggs and whatnot. Let's just kind of show the whole thing here. Yeah, blowing huge bubble nest over here. There's also been some other small ones around here in this corner. He had one. Keep saying she because we're used to referring to Red as a female, but there we go, got out of focus, sorry. The Sylvania is doing awesome. It's been doing real good. Sun coming in here more in the summer. It's getting bigger and spreading out. And super awesome. So we're gonna take White out and we'll be back. All right, so here's Red. I have some lights on here just so we could see because it's nighttime. So we took White out, we put her in the Pseudomoogle tank, and she's just kind of hanging out in there. She seems fine, and he's just been kind of tending to these guys. It looks like he moved everybody into the corner. You can see how he's kind of tending to them. He put all the white eggs together here in the corner of the tank, kind of moved them from over there. And he's just kind of going around back and forth and make sure everybody's accounted for. A little busybody. But yeah, he's definitely a male. We know now. Check out all the baby... I'm going to go around here real quick, show all the baby rabbit snails are getting big. Look at them all over the glass here. There's actually a couple. What was that one? I got these lights set up so we could see a little better. There was one that was pretty big over here already. Oh yeah, there it is. Check out that one right there. Getting pretty huge already. That was a baby. You can see babies all over the glass now, so they'll really be keeping this nice and clean now. They're all over the leaves and the glass and everything. So just wanted to kind of show those guys. They're all over that one flower right there. There's one of the adults. But yeah, anyway, Red is really doing a great job. So just want to kind of show a little follow-up here. This is later at night. And probably just keep White in there with the Pseudomoogles. We'll show her here in a little bit and that. I actually wanted to clean that tank up. We were going to put this guy in there, but then since they bred, put her in there, but we'll probably clean that tank up too this weekend and stuff. But there she is. She's doing pretty good there. He's doing pretty good there. I keep calling her she just because I'm used to it. So we'll see how the progress goes over the next few days here and if these hatch or not. See how it goes. Oh, there's one of the rabbit snails kind of out. Look at that. Focus in on that guy. Looks like this one leaf kind of died on this bamboo and he's eating it. That's one of the golden rabbit snails. See if I get a top view here. It'll focus in maybe. Yeah, look at that. Gonna chomp, probably eat all that whole leaf tonight. Isn't that cool? All right, we'll come back tomorrow, see what's going on here, Red. All right, guys, just like we said, we're going to do a little follow-up here on Red. He's doing awesome. This is about 3 days after all of that stuff happened at the beginning of the video there. And as you can see, he is still kind of in alert mode, just searching through the tank for eggs and everything. you could see there's so many baby rabbit snails now too. We talked about that a few days ago. They're just all over everything now, which is really, 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 really cool. We have some lights kind of set up on top here just so we get a little less reflection, just so you guys can see what's going on here a little better. But yeah, Red is just scouring the tank, looking around, checking out all these baby snails because, you know, they could be invaders to his eggs, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's like, what are you doing over here? But the snails have really overtaken the tank, which is actually really cool because they'll just keep it super clean. And again, if we get too many babies in here, we can take them out, put them in another tank or whatever. As you can see, the salvinia is doing very good. The roots are kind of protruding down. We actually added some water a day or so before this happened because the roots were getting intertwined with like the bamboo and that. But of course, we didn't do anything since this whole egg thing happened. That's why there's a little bit of a dry spot there, a ring there, because we didn't get a chance to clean it. I basically poured water in it, and then we were going to clean it up a little bit, and then this all happened, so we didn't touch anything. So anyway, Reg's just kind of going around and checking everything out. Here's what's left of the bubble nest, and so this has really dissipated over the last day, and we're not really seeing any kind of babies or any kind of action, which normally, from what we've researched and dealt with in the past, is usually within 3 days or so you will see babies. So we're not seeing anything like that. We're not seeing any action. So we're thinking with this being their first spawn that, it just didn't happen. But there was a lot of those white eggs up in this nest, and he was very attentive for the last 3 days, just hanging out right here by them. And we did put like a little food in the other side of the tank after a couple days because we thought maybe he should eat, and put a little food on the other side, and he went over there and he had a few bites and he came right back over here and, was watching his eggs again. But we're not necessarily sure that, there's going to be babies. There's tons of snails. There's one of the big adult snails in there. Right next to him there is one of the smaller ones. But anyway, like I said, if we get too many, we'll just take them out of here, put them in some other tanks. So this tank is just such a fun project because it's basically completely... there's no maintenance at all. It's just it just sits here and it's awesome, and it's got its own little biosphere. And these golden rabbit snails and black rabbit snails and betta are now breeding, so it's really kind of exciting. So I think the plan, basically, what Jack was saying. Let me get on top here. She's over here now. You were kind of look at that salvinia, how it's spreading out too. Isn't that cool? It like makes like a star. It starts in the middle and spreads out. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, it's neat.
So basically what Jack was saying is that, we'll give it a week or so, and then we'll just kind of bring White back over here and try again, and just kind of see what happens. And then if they end up having babies, we'll put her back in the pseudomugil tank again. And then after the babies are kind of born, you're supposed to move the male then, right?
Yeah.
And we got plenty of other tanks we can put Red in. And so we might just, use this as a betta breeding tank and keep them separate, put them in here and all that. And then we thought about even having White come in here with Logan, but Logan is so tiny. He's like the smallest male betta I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's pretty small. Well, it's kind of comic accurate because in the comics, Wolverine's pretty small.
Wolverine.
That's cool.
Right, we named him after Wolverine because he's orange.
Wolverine's actually pretty short. So
we did that video on him. We did like a slow motion video on him, and everybody loved it. And they were like, his fins are so long and everything, and they are, but he's tiny. He's like the smallest male betta ever. He's like half the size of Red, which, is hilarious. But yeah, like you said, Wolverine's short, so... Not in the movies, of course. Hugh Jackman's huge, but in the comics, he's short. So anyway, funny stuff. So we might just kind of bring him in here and take him away periodically and just breed betta in here and see how it goes, if we can get it to work. So far, they certainly tried. But yes, we did find out Red is definitely a male, and a beauty at that. And we could certainly get other females, and we have lots of tanks. We can keep them in separately and stuff like that. But anyway, we just kind of set these. We have these little lights we got that we use for shooting videos and stuff. So we just kind of set this up so you can see a little better. Tank is doing fantastic. Rabbit snails everywhere. Look at this guy on top of the hut here. The bamboo's doing great. If any leaves do die, just like we showed the other guy, they'll just eat them. The snails will just eat them right up as food and all that. So You can see he's kind of looking through the salvinia and everything like that. But chances are that those eggs either weren't fertilized or whatever. But again, honestly, he's probably not even a year and a half old, and neither is White. So we will continue to do more experimenting with this and researching with this. I did breed bettas before a long time ago. I didn't think it was incredibly fun or profitable or anything like that. And there's so many bettas at stores, I just didn't feel the need to do it. So I just kind of got away from it. But it was pretty simple, really. I mean, it's honestly pretty easy. Look at that black rabbit snail. He's right on that trunk there. He's like totally hanging out of his shell. But we just love this little tank. So we'll continue to do updates. We'll let you guys know if we try to breed these guys again. But we know this was kind of long, but we know this is kind of long, but we ate a bunch of chili for dinner, right?
Yeah.
Pamela's famous chili. Look at even Lacey had some. She's sleeping. She's like, chili made me tired. So again, if we do follow-ups on this and everything, we'll keep you guys updated. We'll do more videos. It will be kind of fun to do. And our LFS does move a lot of bettas. So, and they told us that, if we ever had babies, they'd love to take them from us and trade them in and stuff like that. So, we could certainly do that. So anyway, super fun. We hope everybody has a fantastic day. We just wanted to update everybody and show people that footage. If you've never seen it before, it's pretty interesting. And if any of these do end up hatching, we'll certainly do a video on them, but it doesn't seem like at this point that any are going to. So try again or something. And everybody have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time, right?
Bye-bye.